everyone. So I wanted to start out my presentation in class by doing a guided meditation for about the first 7 minutes of my presentation. And I just encourage you at this point in the video to either pick a guided meditation on YouTube. That could either be music, ocean sounds, or simply someone guiding you to breathe in and breathe out and focus on different topics. I personally like to do my meditations by laying on the ground and with my arms fully on the ground, my eyes closed, and just really taking in my feelings and just kind of quieting my mind. And you could also do it sitting in a chair with your feet planted and just try to quiet your mind and all distractions for about 7 minutes. I encourage you to pause the video right here, and then we can get back to the rest of the presentation. Okay, so the title of my leadership philosophy is Self Before Selfless. I think this is a topic that I've really tried to embody in the last 3.5 years of college. I think I came into school always feeling like I had to put others before my own personal self-care. And I think as a leader, that's something that I felt like I had to do. I had to be a servant leader, always give to my followers or my community way more before I ever took care of myself. And I think that's something that I've learned through the leadership minor, is that personal care does have to come sometime in your life. I took a class in the leadership minor that was leadership and spirituality my sophomore year, and I really felt that class changed my entire life. We would start out class with a meditation, sometimes 2 minutes, ranging all the way to 15, even to 20 minutes. And I think just having that time to really sit, meditate, think about life, and just kind of calm down really changed how I went about my college experience. I think from that moment on, I was taking time to put myself and my self-care needs in the beginning of each of my days, whether that be take a walk, do some breathing, lay in bed and just quiet my eyes and do some stretching. I think it's really important to make sure that you get your non-negotiables met first before you can be present for your friends, your communities, or groups that you lead. So in my readings, it talked about the empty cup, and I think this is something in society that leaders feel like they constantly are being pulled in many different directions, and they might be constantly giving from an empty cup. That means that they don't fulfill their own needs first, fill up themselves, and then being able to give from that fullness that they feel. And I think that's something that through meditation and taking time for yourself, you can prioritize and fill up your empty cup in order to accomplish more and be more present for your community. And these questions we'll talk about a little bit more in our discussion. Now, this is a little bit on the benefits of meditation, and through the readings it stated that there would be better negotiation skills, less misplaced aggression in the workplace, and more motivation to achieve your goals. One of my readings was about taking small minutes of meditation throughout the workday and making sure that you just kind of take a break from the constant emails that you're getting and things like that in corporate America, and making sure that you take time to breathe, and it's not constantly sitting at your desk, eating lunch at your desks, and never taking a minute off. And it also talked about the shift in American culture to the work in the head. And what this means is that our work now is always with us through the creations of email and things like Zoom classes and ability to actually virtually meet at any point of the day at any time and be in constant contact. It's a great invention, but it can be really complex for a person to integrate into their lives when really their me time is taken away, and it can be mentally challenging to find divisions between taking care of your own personal needs and being there for your communities that you lead and wanting to progress in your business life and making sure that you're the best that you can be. I know I've struggled with this in that a lot of jobs are salaried, and there's really no structure to your hours, and that pretty much you can work as long as you want. And this can be challenging in order to make sure that your self-care is constantly met. And I think that I'll cover that a little bit more in the next slide. Now, this is a little bit more about my industry and kind of incorporating my major into it. So there's constantly extended work hours creeping into our society and how to cope. So one of my readings was that workers are feeling more and more overworked. And in the field that I'm going into after graduation, it's public accounting, and there's a busy season to it. So it's about 3 to 4 months of 60 to 70 hours a week working. So a little bit different than your 40 hours a week. Most people for those 3 to 4 months can spend anywhere from getting in at 8 a.m. and leaving around midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and then going back the next day and doing the same thing, and even working on Saturdays and Sundays. So really, I know personally my leadership philosophy is going to be really, I think, tested in this field, but I know that I need to prioritize my self-care before anything else. And I think that's something that college has really taught me, and making sure to schedule my day to have my walks in the morning and taking time to simply listen to a podcast or listen to some music, or maybe during the day taking a lunch and going to the gym for 30 minutes or something like that, and making sure that I prioritize my self-wellness before I can give to others. And this spiritual leadership part of this slide is that you incorporate your mission, vision, and hope into everyday work activities. And I think that through the class and the leadership minor that I took about leadership and spirituality, this was really the forefront of that class, and making sure that you have something that you stand for and incorporating those values into your everyday work, because sometimes that can kind of go by the wayside, and you may not bring in your personal mission statement into your everyday activities because life just becomes too busy. But it's very important, I think, in my life that I connect all of my leadership activities with a spiritual aspect, and showing that there's more to it that's just than completing a spreadsheet or completing a task at work. Everything you do and interact with people, you have an impact, and making sure that your values are at the forefront of that as well. Now, my strengths and my weaknesses, I feel like in my leadership philosophy are that I'm constantly striving to improve. And that can be a strength, but then I think it can also be a weakness, and that sometimes I get caught up in perfection over self-care, and that sometimes maybe my schoolwork or my professional life can overrun my ability to take care of myself first. And I think that's truly why my leadership philosophy of self before selfless is very important to me, and that's something that I truly want to keep embodying over the rest of my life. And really my vision for my future is to be a well-balanced professional person, friend, and member of society, in striving to take care of myself and my well-being first in order to be the best business professional and leader possible. I think that I've expressed this throughout the presentation, but just making sure that I bring balance to my life as well, whether that be in a spiritual way or going to church and really finding community there, or finding spirituality and taking time to breathe and really think about the breaths that I'm taking, and not just that I'm surviving everyday life by eating and just going through the motions. I just want to be constantly present and reevaluating my personal values and beliefs in order to be the best leader that I can, and then be present for everyone out there. And just truly find the space to lead and put myself first. I know that may sound a little bit opposite of some of the things that I personally thought about leaders before really coming into this minor and finding out truly who I am. But I know that for me personally, I need to find my space to lead first. I know I can't lead from that empty cup, and that I really want to strive to push forward, whether that be meditation or just different ways to take time for my self-care and show up for the people that I'm interacting with and leading each day. And thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed that presentation, and I can't wait to discuss it further in class. I encourage you to read my readings. I know some of them are kind of long, so if you want to just skim over them, it'd be great, but I'm excited to kind of talk about finding your place to lead and making sure that your self-care is a top priority. So I can't wait to talk about that in class. See you all soon.